What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there.
Waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya.
Hey, everybody, and Happy New Year!
We would like to wish everyone a safe and happy new year.
We are now in the year of 2023, which means it's time to talk about our favorite games that came out in 2022. Now, before we get into this, I have to say, the purpose of Blackboard Gaming is to introduce games to newcomers by showing me, by me and my wife talking about it, because she's just a casual gamer. But I played so many other games without my wife. So I felt like I need to have two lists. My favorite games that I played with you, and then my favorite games of 2022, And it might be a little crossover, I don't know, but we'll see. But are you okay with that?
I'm cool with that.
So, how we're going to structure this, I'm going to talk about my favorite game, that I played with her. Then she's going to talk about her favorite game. And then I'm going to talk about my favorite game. I hope that's not too confusing. So, are you ready to get into this?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get right to it. So, my number 5 game that I played with Alicia is one we just recently played. And we played it a couple times. And that is Flamecraft. Now, in Flamecraft, we play as these cute little artisan dragons. And we're going around these different stores. And we're, either gathering goods or we're enchanting the shops. Gaining reputation. This game is beautiful. But I really enjoyed it. Now, at first, I thought this was a little bit too easy until those different stores came out. And then some of the fancy dragons give some very unique scoring opportunities. And in our last game, she ended up winning. She won by 2 points. But it was like I did this epic turn at the end. I can do this, and I figured out this combo. And I got ahead of her by 4 points. And then once we looked at the fancy dragons, she had this one fancy dragon that said if you get rid of any of your fancy dragons, you score 3 reputation for each one. So she ended up winning by 2 points. And I really enjoyed that added little complexity when those shops come out. So what did you think?
Okay, so our first crossover.
Oh, no, wow. That was quick.
We recently did a video talking about games that bring the cuteness. Had we played Flamecraft at that point, it would have made that list.
It made my list.
It didn't make my list because I hadn't played. Flamecraft brings the cuteness.
No, bring the warmth.
It brings the warmth. It brings the cuteness. Okay.
It does. Because dragons produce fire.
It brings the cuteness. One of the things I really like about Flamecraft is how it's cooperatively competitive. It is a competitive game, but it's the opposite of a take that game. Because as you enhance yourself, you make it better for all the other players, and I really like that aspect of the game. Flamecraft was fun, it was cute, it was just my level, and it was my number 5 for this year.
That really, because I know you're not really into fantasy, So
it really depends, because Winnie the Pooh is fantasy, and I really adore Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, all right, I'll take that. But I just know fantasy's not your go-to.
The fantasy that you like is not my go-to.
Well, I like I like Winnie the Pooh. But also like Lord of the Rings. So,
exactly.
Okay, well, anyway. All right, so my number 5 favorite game of 2022 is Wonderland's War. Speaking of fantasy, you know, Wonderland's War is set in the Alice in Wonderland world.
Okay.
And when I played this, it was a great experience because usually it has like an area control aspect. There's some dudes on the map, and that's not my favorite mechanic. But what I really enjoyed about this is, so it's a different way you do battle. It's 2 parts to the game. First of all, you go to the tea party, and you're going around the table, gathering your forces. You're preparing for battle. And then when the battle comes, it's a bag pulling game, you know, kind of like Quaxaquidlinburg. And you're pulling chips, and that dictates how the battle goes.
Okay.
And that's what I really liked about it. You know, I'm like, the production is stellar.
Okay.
You know, and so that's my number 5
Okay.
of 2022.
Okay.
All right, you know, now Alice in Wonderland is fantasy.
Yes, it is.
Point taken. All right, let's go to number 4. My number 4 game that I've played with you is Scout.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this card game.
Okay.
And I have taught it to a few different people, and everybody has enjoyed it.
Yes.
So Scout is like a ladder climbing game, and you're trying to run out of cards. That's pretty much. And you're running out of cards by beating, you know, somebody plays a card into the middle of the table. So let's say they play an 8. So in order to beat that card, you got to play a higher value or 2 cards or pair or descending or ascending order. And so what you're trying to do is just get rid of the cards in your hand. But, you know, and you were like, you didn't understand why everybody was really into this game. But I you know, the best part of this game is the fact that you cannot rearrange your hand.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Scout. I like Scout. It's not that I dislike it. It's just that I don't understand why everyone finds it to be such an amazing experience.
Because you cannot rearrange your hand. That challenge of
Okay.
not being able to
Okay.
rearrange your hand. Like, when I teach people that, and I tell them what they're trying to do, but I say that the fact that you can't rearrange your hand till the last rule. I was like, oh, that reminds me. You cannot rearrange your hand. And the looks on their face like, oh, what?
Yeah, that does make it challenging. Yes.
So that's my number 4 that I played with you.
Okay, so my number 4 is Verdant.
Oh.
All right, so when we first talked about Verdant, I wasn't sure where it fell in the trilogy of Cascadia, Calico, but clearly for me, it's my number 3. I love Cascadia. Cascadia is number 1 for me. Calico is number 2, and Verdant is number 3. What I like about Verdant is,
You mean compared to each other?
Yes,
Cascadia's your
yes.
top. But for this year,
Yes.
you love Verdant. Okay.
So, what I like about Verdant is, of course, I like the theme. I love the art.
That art is beautiful.
I love the art, and it's, you know, it's a fun game. So for me, yeah, I like Verdant.
I like Verdant. I like the fact that you got to match up the rooms and the plants because the rooms provide that different
You
sunlight.
mean the light?
Yeah.
I do like that you got to match up the light. But what I like, now honestly, I like 2 things a lot about this game. I like that you can get the verdancy in a number of ways, but I really like those green thumbs and how they come in a variety of shades.
Diversity.
Yes, I just love that. I love that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, someone has been paying attention, so good job.
Yep, I did notice that. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
It is cool.
You know?
Yes.
All right, so my favorite game, my number 4 favorite game, is a game. We actually did play this, but we only played half a game, so I didn't count it. Skate Summer.
Yes, we did. We demoed it.
Yeah, we demoed like the first couple of rounds, but since then I've played it a few times.
All right.
And Skate Summer, I love that game because first of all, the theme is very unique because you're skateboarders, and I like the way they had it. They implemented the way you try to keep your balance in the card play.
Yes.
You know, you play a card and you roll the dice and see how far it goes one way, and then you push your luck, kind of like Quacks and Quedlinburg, you know. And you're pushing your luck to try to stay on that board. And the longer you stay on that board, the greater your reward. And then the rest of the game, you're going around like collecting stuff out. You know, it's kind of like a set collection aspect to it. And I love the art. I mean, it's a little busy, but I'm okay with that because it reminds me of an old school video game, Jet Set Radio.
Okay.
You know, so Skate Summer, I really enjoyed this game.
I like Skate Summer, but yeah, that board is just kinda busy for me.
It is busy, but I'm okay with that. All right, let's get on to number 3. My number 3 game that I played with Alicia is Foundations of Rome.
Okay.
I love Foundations of Rome. That game is so beautiful on the table.
Yes, the table presence is so impressive.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I mean, lugging that, I have done it twice. I've lugged that game with me so people can see this game and play it. And there are other people that walk around there be like, what is that? You know?
Yes.
And this game could have easily been, it could have been just a regular polyomino tile placement game because that's pretty much what it is. But how would it have stood out from other games by not upping this production like this? And that's what really draws me in. It's designed by I think Emerson Masucci, same guy did Century Spice Road. And I mean, I really like Foundations of Rome. That is a beautiful game. That's my number 3.
All right. So my number 3, I had my initial play of it, I enjoyed it, but I came to enjoy it more, appreciate it more after subsequent plays. And that is Guild of Merchants Explorers.
Oh!
Now, one of the things I think that has made this game move up for me is right now I teach social studies and we are studying the age of exploration. And so this really, studying the age of exploration and playing this game, it just really helps me appreciate the theme on a whole nother level. And so yes, I love the theme. I love the mechanics. They are somewhat new to me. I love, I even like the layout of the map. In general, I like real maps, but the map is interesting. Again, the only thing I really don't like is I still think water should be blue. But yes, I really like Guild of Merchants Explorers.
Oh, I did not expect this on your list.
Yeah, I know you didn't see that.
I didn't see that one coming. All right, I'm gonna jump. My number 3 is Endless Winter.
Okay.
Now, Endless Winter is a game where we play as cavemen. You know, cavemen who are trying to survive, you know, building up our tribe or whatever. And it's like deck building and worker placement.
Okay.
So it falls under the same, like at the time there was Dune Imperium and there was Lost Ruins of Arnak, which you played, you know. Oh, well, you didn't play Dune Imperium. But anyway, I played this a couple of times and I played the solo mode. And to try to like see if I could do better or get a better score and understand everything. And I really, really, really enjoyed this game. The art is beautiful. And there's so many ways to score points in this game. Like, if I was to rate the 3, like Lost Ruins of Arnak would probably still be my favorite, but that's strictly because of theme. But in Lost Ruins of Arnak, if whatever you do in that game, if you don't go up that temple track, you're going to lose.
This is true.
But in Endless Winter, it's so many different things way to win. You're placing those tokens you're placing your villages out onto the board, and you're gaining followers or tribespeople into your hand, and you have to there's a burial ritual. You have to put this under the gravesite. I think that's what it's called. But like I said, the art is beautiful. I love the mechanics of this game, and that's Endless Winter.
Okay.
All right, so on to number 2. My number 2 favorite game that I played with Alicia is Creature Comforts.
Okay.
I love Creature Comforts. I love the art. I love how relaxing it is. I love it's just a comfortable, warm game. I just love everything about Creature Comforts. I love the dice. I love dice placement, but it's worker placement, dice placement, and how they twine the two in this game. I really enjoy it, and you're just building up these comfort cards and all that, like the quilt and the soup, and I really did enjoy this game. So that's Creature Comforts. I don't know what else to say. It's just a beautiful game.
All right, so my number 2 is The Spill.
The Spill.
Yes. Now, one of the very first cooperative games I played was Pandemic. And I still love Pandemic. However, I feel like it may not be the most welcoming game right now.
Because of the thing.
Yes.
Because we went through a pandemic.
We're still in a pandemic. However, The Spill has the same cooperative nature, the same we're saving the world aspect of it. But it's not a pandemic, so I think it's a great way to get people into cooperative games. I love the theme, I love the aesthetics and production, and I love how the intensity builds. It builds pretty quickly, and it's really a race against time. So I love everything about this game. So for me, my number 2 is The Spill.
Yeah, I really did enjoy The Spill. I love the fact that, you got that dice tower and you throw them dice that represents the oil and all that. And I did enjoy that game.
And that dice tower really, it really improves the table presence so much.
Yeah, okay. So, my number 2 favorite game that came out in 2022 is a game I actually only played one time. And if I have more plays of it, it quite possibly will move up to number 1.
Okay.
And I played it one time. I fell in love with it. I was when we went to Vegas, and Tim taught me at Meepleville.
Okay.
And that game is Revive.
Okay.
Now, in Revive, we are trying to rebuild the world, and we're moving around this map, discovering, flipping over tiles, and building cities. But what made me really I love that part, but what made me fall in love with this game is there are technologies on your player board. And in order to, move those technologies, you have to do certain things out on the board. And you take a block, and there's a disc that blocks that technology, and you move that over to your scoreboard, which shows you what your score is. And I love the card play, because the card is multi-use cards, and you can either slide it in the top or slide it in the bottom. And it's just, I fell in love with this game. And I am I'm on the hunt for this game. Okay. I'm just telling you, I'm waiting. I got a couple stores looking for it. I know it's not out yet, but they're ready to call me.
Okay.
As soon as it comes in, they're like, hey, I got it. And I'm like, I'm right there.
All right. All right.
So that's Revive. All right, you ready to do number 1?
Yes.
All right, let's go. So my number one game that came out in 2022 that I played with you is also my number one game.
What game?
Period. You know, so this is one game I'm mentioning. Guild of Merchants Explorers. I love Guild of Merchants Explorers. I love the exploring aspect. I played that game like double-digit times, and I just really, really enjoy this game. And what I really like about it is just the fact that when you start the game, you're doing the same thing. You know, you reveal the card and you put a cube out on that type of terrain. But when those special cards come out, I can't think of the name of it. I'm sorry, but you guys, whoever played that game know what I'm talking about. It's these special cards that give you a special power. And everybody has a different power. So now we're the X-Men. You know, we're like, I have this power that you don't have, but you got a power that I don't have. And now we got to see who can better utilize that power in order to win this game. You know, I really love Guild of Merchant Explorer. So that's my number one of 2022.
All right. So my number one of 2022 was a game we played relatively early in the year, and that was Creature Comforts.
I knew it.
I just love Creature Comforts. I love the mechanics. I love the production. I love the artwork. And yes, I love what you said, how they intertwine worker placement and dice drafting. It is done in a clever and unique way, and it makes the game really enjoyable.
Yeah, Creature Comforts is a really great game.
Yes, I really enjoy the game. It's a game that I can play again and again and again. It scales well. I think that you could play it with 2, or you could play it with the maximum. And it's a family weight game, so you could play it with adults and enjoy it, but you could play it with kids and enjoy it. So Creature Comforts is a winner on every level for me.
I can't wait till you try Maple Valley. You're going to love Maple
Well,
Valley.
I did demo Maple Valley.
Oh, yeah, we did demo it at Gen Con.
Yes.
You know, but I really demoed it at PAX, you know.
Yes. Yes, I am looking forward to Maple Valley.
Yeah, so I figured that was going to be your number one. All right, so that is our favorite games of 2022. Now, next week, we're actually doing a video where there's some games that we played in 2022 that were new to us, but didn't come out in 2022. So we're doing that in our next video. And I hope you're looking forward to that, because I'm looking forward to that one. I got some great choices. So if you like the contents of the video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
This has been BlackBoardGaming.
We will see you next time.